Hey guys, so I've just been scrolling through Facebook and I came across an old photo of mine. It was actually a selfie of me, because back then I didn't really hang around with people as much as I do now. But I love the look that I did that day with my makeup, so I'm actually wanting to somewhat create it. Bearing in mind at the time I was 18 at the time, I think. Well, 17 going on 18. Well, this is the photo. I don't know if you can see that. You probably can't. Hold on. Might work better there. There we go. That is the photo. So, I want to be able to recreate it better. And see if I can still do that. So I've got my trusty mirror here, all of my brushes, which are actually clean for a change, because I've not really been doing my makeup recently. So, and then I've since got 2 cats. So, and one day they went to pick one of the brushes up, and I decided I'm going to clean them and keep them out of their reach. So, I do have some new type of makeup that I want to also try out in this as well. Some of it I won't use, some of it I will. Because some of it I think can improve it a bit. So, let's see. So, the first thing I do is I put my primer on. So, what I use is a L'Oreal primer. So I literally just put it all over my face, including my eyelids as well. And that just preps the face for the rest of the makeup. I use it because it also helps with my spots. So here I'm using my Total Cover palette, and I'm using the green, which helps the redness of spots. So as you can see, I'm only putting it over certain areas, which is where I've got the spots. And then I go on to my concealer, which goes under my eyes to hide the bags and the dark circles. I use one of my brushes to start to blend it in. And because I put a bit too much on, I have to blend it in with my eyes as well. But I don't think it's that noticeable at the end. So I did a pretty good job there. Now I'm going on to my foundation, which is a L'Oreal Infallible foundation. It's in the colour Porcelain, which is number 15. This one is the best one for my skin. I've tried loads of different ones. I've even tried the Boots own brand number 7, which is meant to match up to your skin tone. So what I do is I just put a little bit on my hands, and then I just pull it on with my Techniques foundation brush, and I literally just cover my face in it. I pull my hairline a bit so I can get as close to my hairline as possible, without going over it, so making sure I don't get any foundation in my hair. And yes, I do go over my eyes with my foundation as well. Helps blend it in with the concealer. So any excess I wipe off with a makeup wipe, and then I go over with my Real Techniques powder brush just to take away any marks that may be there. So now I'm going on to a Stay Matte translucent powder, which makes it a bit more matte on your face, so if you don't like the shine, it will be perfect for you. And now I'm doing my eyeliner. Now, I'm not sure what brand my eyeliner was. It will be at the end of the video. I literally just put a bit above my eyes and a bit below it, so that it gives that definition. I do spend quite a lot of time on my eyes with my eyeliner. So now I'm getting a cotton bud and I'm trying to like smudge it out a bit, make sure it's a bit more blurred instead of like a dead straight line. So it's a bit more, instead of being really sharp, it's not as sharp. And now I'm going back over with a bit of cotton bud and a bit of concealer, just where I've overdone it on a bit of eyes. It just blends in the line a bit more. Concealer works for pretty much everything. So now I'm doing the parts of my top eyelids, just to blend them in a bit more. And now I'm going back over it, because where it's being blended right in the corners and right in the in part of the lid, I've just made it a bit darker. And now I've gone on to my Chanel eyeshadow, and I've used one of my BD brushes just to go over it to give it a bit more of a smoky look. Now I'm just brushing it over with another brush and a bit more concealer, and then the eyes are done other than the mascara. And now I'm just on the mascara after sorting my hair out. If you want a proper tutorial on this, leave a comment below. So there we have it, that's the after look. At the end of the video I will have a before and an after on the photos, so I will get the photos together to see how they look. It will say before and after. And I'll leave it up for a couple of seconds so you can like look at it, or you can pause it. But I just want to go through with what brushes and what makeup I use, and in what order as well, because if you want to go back and see what they're like again on the face, if you don't remember which one, you can always write down, or if you remember which one you liked, like you may like the eyeshadow or something, then you can go out and buy it yourself. This is no way a promotion, this is just my favourite makeup that I've learned over the years. Like my foundation, I've bought about 3 or 4 times now, because it's so much better than the other foundations I've used. So the first thing I used was L'Oreal Infallible Total Colour Cover Concealer Palette. The one I used today was the green one, which hides redness from spots and stuff. So I love it, I really do. I mean, sometimes I use the purple sometimes, the dark circles, but now that I've got proper like concealer, it's a lot better. So then after that, because obviously I didn't use a brush for that, I got the L'Oreal Paris Infallible, which goes with this, so they're both infallible, more than concealer. I don't know what it means by more than. Oh, full coverage concealer, targeted all over. So you can wear your concealer as a foundation. It's a very tiny bottle for foundation. But yeah, so I used that, and I used it with this Techniques brush, which is a concealer brush. Normally I use this for my contouring down the nose, because it gets that really thin line, and then I can just like blend it in. But today I used it for concealer, so I actually used it for what it was meant for. And then after that, I used the foundation. Let's put the lid back on. Which is, once again, L'Oreal Paris. It's the infallible. Not infallible, infallible. This is the foundation, and it is a shade 15, which is Porcelain. And then after that, I used it with a Real Techniques. Oh, it's wiped off. I think this is the foundation brush. So yeah, once again. And then after that, just before I went on to powder, I went over it with this Real Techniques powder brush. So basically why I use this is, so if there's any streaks or anything in it from the foundation brush, it kind of rubs them out. It kind of blends it together. So it's a lot smoother. So I always go over it whether I'm using a powder or not, because I can't stand streaks. So then afterwards, after I use that brush, this is actually new to me, so this is the first time I used it, and to be fair, hasn't done a bad job. I might see what it looks like when I'm not actually got foundation underneath it and I'm not just using it like to set it and to make it a bit more matte. But it is a stay matte one. So it's a Rimmel London Stay Matte. This is transparent. There you go. So it just mattes the foundation. Okay, did not know that. I got it from my mum. She's never used it before. And I used it with, I think this is either a foundation brush or it's a powder brush. But I used it as a powder brush anyway. And it's one of the Little Mixes brushes. I just saw them and they were just so pretty. So I just had to have them. It's not because I want to buy everything Little Mix. It's not because of that. I like pretty brushes and I like fluffy brushes. So, and then after that, I used this one, which is a Maybelline New York black eyeliner. So I literally just put a bit of that on, and then it wasn't even a brush. It was a cotton bud, and I just went around and just blurred it up, made it a bit more like. Instead of being a thick line, kind of blend it in a bit. Should have really used one of my blending in brushes. I should have another one in there somewhere. Yeah, I should have really used that brush to do it, but I didn't. And once I've done that, and then I realised that I should have done a bit of the eyeshadow, which is a Chanel. It just goes 95 sparkling satins. So you got like basically a pink, a silver, a goldy, nudie colour, and then you got black. So I used the black and I used it with this brush, which is very, very old. It's actually it's a BD brush, Barbara Daly, I think. Because I think there's someone else for that name. I hope I just didn't get back up. But yeah, I used that because it's a soft enough brush that you can just rub it on and it'll be fine. So basically I just put that round. And then throughout it you might have seen me put my concealer back up, use a cotton bud and then just dab it round and just blend it in a bit more. And then that's when I brought in this Little Mix brush, so I could just go over and just blend it all in. So I did have another Little Mix one, but I can't seem to find that at the moment. I do have this Little Mix one as well. But yeah, so that's me recreating this look, and I am proud of myself. I must say, I'm proud of myself. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and maybe subscribe.